What's up, everybody? This is Whiskey in the Six. I'm Rob. Today I'm doing the Glendronach Peated Port. Alright, so get you a closer look at that bottle. This wasn't released in many places, and it was hard to come by for a lot of people. I'm not sure if there's more of this to come out or what's happening with it, but half of this bottle was given to me by Jeremy of Toronto Whisky Society. Super nice guy. I went to the Spirit of Toronto festival with him. We were able to try a whole bunch of different whiskeys. We sat in on the master class for the Northern Border Collection of 2018, which will be coming out in the fall. And we got a sneak peek at some stuff that's coming out actually this June as well. And all of it looks very impressive, actually. So that was pretty cool. Jeremy's just a cool guy in general, and he gave me this bottle to do a review on. Now, the story behind this bottle is he wasn't a big fan of it at first, and then we tried it together after a while that he had it opened and it had some time to oxidize, and it was a lot better. And I find that this bottle in particular is getting better and better with time. So without further ado, and the place where it shows the most is on the nose. At first it was almost like a cheesy kind of peat, whereas now it's more of that barbecue style that I love. It's a Highland peat, so this was malted barley smoked with Highland peat by Glendronach, and then moved into a port cask for finishing. Port wine comes from Portugal, for those of you that don't know, and now the nose I think is excellent. Bottled at 46%, non-chill filtered, no added color, just like Glendronach always does. Whether they bottle at 43 or higher, they're always unchill filtered, no added color. Really nice nose. So barbecue, you get a little bit of that classic Easter bread nose that I associate with port wine or port wine whiskey. Maybe a little charred. Like the Easter bread cut up, sweet, put into a toaster too long. That mixed with a little bit of a smoky barbecue in the background. Some lemon in there as well. Some like red fruit, like maybe strawberry. On the palate. It's really changed. Still a little bit mineral, which is not something I'm used to with Glendronach, but smoother with time. You get that barbecue note, not overly sweet. You don't pick up a lot of the port on the palate, in my opinion. On the nose, you get it more. It's good. Unfortunately, he paid more than he wanted to for this bottle. I think in auction it went for close to 200 American. I think you could probably get it for a lot less on average. The thing with this one is that it's so limited. So Glendronach fans went crazy to find it. Sold pretty quickly. And obviously what happens when stuff like that goes quick is that there's not a lot of reviews, so there's not a lot of information about that particular whiskey. And I think reviews might have been a little bit more generous if people actually waited till about this time to give it a review. But I don't know how much it would improve. I think, if I'm being very honest, this is about an 83 for me, so that's an A-. not necessarily something I'm gonna spend north of $70 for, okay? If you can get it for the $70 range and lower, it's definitely a buy. And I think this is just getting better with time. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of time left, right? So I don't think it's gonna get that much better. Maybe 1 point, maybe 2 tops. But it's an A- for me. Good stuff, just not great. I think if I had to score it when I first tried it, and then taking into consideration some of the reviews that I've heard as well, it probably would have been lower than an 80. It probably would have been a 78, 79. So it's improved a bit, and that's a good thing. Okay, so that's an 83. Probably the lowest score I've given to Glendronach. I think I've never given anything south of 86 to a Glendronach, but there's a first for everything. Not my favorite, but maybe it's somebody else's, and that's great, right? That's why we do this. Okay, you guys can check me out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You guys can also support me on Patreon if you like. Cheers.